Good evening. Well, to start it off, you know how people are, so let me go ahead and address my title. Basically, NBA Street Vol.2 is one of my favorite games of all time when it comes to basketball. Me, I'm not really a fan of the 2Ks and the realistic basketball games. I'll play them, but not really a fan of them because, there's two types of sports games players. Man, that's a mouthful. You got your realistic ones, and then you got your ones that can't stand the games that are not realistic. Now, this cult classic flopped. Yeah, it flopped bad. Now, as you look at these two, I'm going to compare both of these footages so you can kind of see, because Osmond Gold also made a statement about this, about current day games. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's not the fact that current day games have gotten that bad. It's just that when you've been around a long time, it's hard to impress you. So when you were younger growing up playing games, it amused you more. It was new, it was fresh, you hadn't seen it. So I think a lot of times, for some of us that are gamers or quote unquote gamers, one thing for you to remember, the older you get, the harder it's going to be to impress you. So a lot of times we get stuck in nostalgia, if that makes sense. And NBA Street Vol.2, when it came out, the game was dope. I mean, I really played this game a lot. Now, hopefully with this game, you got to find a good balance. Just because it's doing a lot, it doesn't necessarily make it a good game. So please do not, I repeat, do not have a Left 4 Dead situation, because Back 4 Blood, I think is what it was called. Man, they ruined the franchise with that game. They really did. So remember that it's not always about doing all this extra stuff. Sometimes less is more and simple is better, because the more you're adding on here or trying to make it a live service is going to have a very difficult time being successful. That's just my recommendation. I can't tell you how to make the games. I don't make the games, but I'm just telling you now, don't wind up with a Back 4 Blood situation, because that game, they ruined the Left 4 Dead. I mean, the original format for Left 4 Dead was, monumental. They could not have done it better. All they needed to do is just maybe add a few more monsters and some more stages, and everybody would have been satisfied. But after they started doing this card, and when you put this card on that card, and then you see what I'm saying? It's doing too much. Like, hey, just make it simple, make the mechanics functional, and make sure everything do what it's supposed to do, and you're gonna have a much more successful game. But enough from me for now. Let's go ahead and check it out.
It's go time. All talk, baby. Come on. Now you see me, now you don't. Hey, yo, I'm Spin Cycle, baby. I'm from round the way. Come and get it. Too slow. That's a big man.
And see that right there? That was a prime example of what I was talking about with not making things harder than they gotta be. Like, just that move alone, throwing the ball back off the fence to go all the way over to her, is excessive and unnecessary. When he could have just passed the ball directly to her, nobody's guarding him. And realistically, it's not gonna bounce off the fence like that anyway, even though it's a fake game. It's doing too much. You get what I'm saying? It's overdoing it, and it doesn't even give to a dramatic effect. It's not like Vega bouncing off of a fence. It's not the same thing. Okay, so really stay away from throwing the ball off the fence in this game development, and just make it straight to the point. Make it simple. Don't overdo anything. Don't overthink it. Just make the game, man. just make the game. Ain't no need to overcomplicate things. And unless the game's gonna have fighting in it, excessive, unnecessary. There's no need to be doing all that. Like, is she doing all this like she about to unleash her Capcom level 3 special? Like, there's no need. There's no need for all that. You know what I'm saying? If it's gonna be a basketball game, okay, cool. If it's gonna be I ain't gonna lie to you. If there's like a basketball game that how them old school hockey games used to be, where you could bump into people and then you can initiate a fight. Now, if this is something like that, that will be cold. But again, my opinion, my opinion is not the consensus of everybody. I'm just thinking if they doing all that, and then you got this big old dude over here looking like he guardian class. I'm just saying, you over here making Valorant basketball. I mean, basketball's basketball, but how often can you whoop up on somebody on the court and mess up their stamina if they lose the fight on the game? I'm just saying, people don't make games no more. I'm sorry, man. Get back to it.
Hey, yo, put it down, girl.
My court.
Booyah, baby.
You see what I mean? Like, it look like they're about to go over here and be having superpowers and stuff while they playing basketball. Like, it look like a basketball with abilities. I'm just saying, I'm not saying I wouldn't be cool with that, but I am interested to see the gameplay and see what they do with it, because that will be kind of fun. Because ever since NBA Hang Time, or what's that other one, NBA Jam, where you could push people, get on fire and dunk the ball. If you make it 3 consecutive times in a row, you're on fire. I'm just saying, there's some things you could do with this, and I'm curious to see what they do. So I'm reserving my judgment till I see the gameplay, but I'm interested to see in what happens here. But I'm just saying, if they decide to get real gamey on this game, there's already realistic basketball. It's already realistic basketball game. So I'm gonna just say, just whatever it is, make it balanced, and I'm with it. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with this is NBA Volume 2, the NBA Street Vol.2. Michael Jordan was actually on this game. But yes, it's a little bit from this one. As you can see up top, you got your game breaker for your specials and things like that. You got your racking of points, by crossing people over and all that. It was a real gamey game. But overall, if you kicked it with your boy this long, I appreciate you hanging with me. Let me know what you think, though. You excited for this, to get something a little different, to switch it up a little bit? There's been some real basketball for a while. I think it's time to cross some people over, pushing people down. Get out of pocket. Little Mario Kart style basketball. You know what I mean? Maybe pick up some special items, Streets of Rage style. They try to go in for the dunk. Sweep their legs. You gotta be able to have some fun. Sometimes you just wanna play a game that's completely ridiculous, with a ranked mode, and that's all you want. Not too much to ask, and some good net code. But links are below like always. In the meanwhile, I'm out. Have a good one.